So a lot of guys, that first step is probably a half of a yard. There's no reason for that. Your first step should be a yard and a half or 2 yards easily, like I said, because you're going to go vertical with violence at the end of the day. So it's just different things you got to program your receivers on to make sure that they understand the imperative of a great stance and start. Like I said, just a simple drill. Another drill here, what I tell guys, literally, you just want to fall forward. Because that's all stance and start, just literally fall forward. So there's different drills, like I said, that I've incorporated right here. One of my guys right here, Latrell Jones, played for me a few seasons back, got on with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in training camp. But again, you just want to literally fall forward with a knee drive, with a forward lean. And then you also want to incorporate some type of catching drill every time that you're running a drill. If it's cone drill, stance and start, again, just warming those guys up from that standpoint. Again, he's just falling forward. And now we're also working on the curl drills also at the top of this. And again, all this is just still warm-ups right here. Great job here, catch. Make sure we're getting vertical. Same drill right here. Again, you just want to fall forward and just taking one step. Fall forward one step. Now we're working digs. So you're incorporating, like I said, multiple drills in one during your warm-up sessions. All right, another drill right here. What I call this one is chase drill. So basically you're going to have the receiver, then you're going to have another receiver behind him, and he's just chasing him. And then we're still working the top of the route on the curl. And I also added this right here, which you will see a little later. Man, you spend your $10, what I call a Hiko stick. It's got different colors on it. I think one's arm is red, yellow, maybe blue. And as I throw that Hiko stick to those guys, they got to catch the color that I'm throwing at them. So again, just programming those guys to make sure that we're concentrating. All right, great right here by Brandon. Like I said, DB behind him, he's just chasing him, like I said. So we're both make sure we're coming off with a great stance and start. And we're also working, like I said, the top of the curl route, getting in and out of a break, concentrating. Assistant coach throws the Hiko sticks and just saves a color. And like I said, we're just making sure we're concentrating at the end of the day. Same drill right here. You can see, throw the Hiko stick, catch, one hand, make sure we're getting vertical. All right, here's a game rep right here. We was playing in the Lending Tree Bowl a few seasons back versus Rice. And you can see Jason Brownlee up here. He's going to come off with a great departure forward lean just to make sure that we get those DBs in a back pedal and getting those guys out of there. So we'll start right here with a little simple motion because we knew we was going to have leverage. Great. You can see that first step. Knee drive forward lean, knee drive forward lean. That's what it's about. Knee drive forward lean, explode off the ball. Get that DB in his back pedal. That's the biggest thing. Once you get that DB in his back pedal, because like I tell my guys, every route is a go route until it's not a go route. So you want to make sure that you overemphasize that with those guys on a daily basis. So great job here, Jason, getting here, making sure we run a short corner route. Ball outside on, pretty good catch, get vertical. But the biggest thing, again, is, like I said, knee drive, forward lean. All right, we got another rep right here. We got Jason Brownlee down here again, so we should be good. Now, we knew we was going to have soft coverage from that standpoint. And like, again, we just want, hey, knee drive, forward lean, knee drive, forward lean. We just want to make sure that we're selling, get vertical, and put that DB in a stress position. Great right here. Knee drive, forward lean, just a quick hitch route, catch, get vertical. Now we go from 1st and 10 to 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3. That's a play caller's dream right there. All right, next thing we'll talk about is pat and go and with releases. Again, just trying to incorporate more than one drill in one drill. That's the biggest key because, like I said, time could be scarce for some guys. Some guys get a lot of time. Some guys don't get a lot of indie time. So I just want to make sure that we're being conducive and, like I said, put as many drills in one as you can. So that way you're being efficient also at the end of the day. Emphasis on this is a great departure with an explosive play or touchdown mindset. Primary objective is to stack the defender while staying on the red line, while maintaining your leverage to catch over. I'm trying to catch over my outside shoulder if it's the right or if it's the left. But that's the biggest emphasis of making sure pat and go with releases also. All right, again, just something as simple as allowing you to coach. What I incorporated a few years back, I get the big, what I call construction cones and get the big yoga ball, and that's simulating the defender right there. And again, now, as we get into releases, there'll be 3 base primary releases that we always have as a foundation, and that'll be speed, that'll be blade, and that'll be, foot fire. But as we move on, you'll see what I'm talking about from that standpoint. But we have always the receivers, the running backs, and the tight ends. Everybody from a skill position has to know those 3 base releases. So as we're running these drills from the right side to the left side, at the beginning, I may say, hey, we're working speed release right here. So everybody understand, hey, we're working speed release or blade release from that standpoint. So again, the guy's getting a lot of work in a short amount of time, which is very productive right here. You can see Latrell Jones right here. Again, the biggest thing is right here. He's going to be working the speed release right here, but you can also see that he's going vertical and he's pulling that shoulder away from that defender. If you watch very closely, you'll see his right shoulder pulls away from the defender, because that's what you always want to do. You always want to try to reduce your surface so that way that defender can't get his hands on you and stop your momentum moving forward right here. So great job here on these go balls, reduce your shoulder blade. And what I like to tell those guys also, do not look for the football until you get about 12 to 15 yards, because it's a track meet. So that means I want to make sure that I'm selling everything vertical and giving myself an opportunity, because a lot of guys, they may get 6 or 7 yards and start looking for the ball. That's what we don't want. So you can see right here, great job by Latrell right here. Head down, holding this line. Great concentration, catch it over my outside shoulder with late hands also. That's another big emphasis. You want to go show late hands, because great DB coaches are telling those guys, hey, play through the hands. Again, right here, Jakari is casting. Again, same deal right here. Now we're using maybe like the blade release. Good shoulder reduction here. Make sure we're putting our head down and we're running 12 to 15. And then we're just going out of sky. Great job here last second with hands right here. So I think that is a pretty good job right there also. Again, just another rep right here from that standpoint. Now, again, you can see right here, he's going to give a foot fire release. Great foot fire, getting vertical, but you still want to make sure that you're attacking that defender also at the end of the day, because a lot of times the guys will stay at the line of scrimmage, but you're not gaining any depth. You're not threatening the defender. You want to make sure that you threaten the defender with vertical violence right here. So great job here, head down, hold him a line. Great job, outside shoulder. Great job here also. Maybe have to slow up a little bit. That is fine, but great job with late hands. Good rep there. All right, now we get into some game reps. All right, we have Jason Brownlee to the right here, a boundary solo receiver. All right, we made a check. We knew that was a man coverage. Make the check. Now we just run a great go ball right here. Quarterback catches. Great. Right, left, throw. Great job by Jason attacking the defender's leverage, putting his head down, running. Great job here of leaning. Watch the late hands. That's the biggest key. Late hands. Great job right there. All right, great throw by the quarterback. It was very close, guys. We thought it was out of bounds, but it was definitely a touchdown. Great job by the quarterback and great job by Jason getting the foot in bounds right there. Watch this rep again. So that's what it's about. Like I said, just simulating those situations, because you want to try to have every catch that those guys can imagine. Do it in practice, because a lot of times we get in the game and wonder why it didn't happen. So you want to try to simulate as much as possible. All right, we have Jason down here at the bottom, of course. Like I said, he was our boundary receiver. And we knew playing these guys that they were going to sometimes force us inside, which is fine. A lot of times the guys say, hey, you can't win on a go ball if you release inside. Well, that's a false tell. So I'm going to just tell you that now. So you can release inside and still win on the fade ball if you get that guy back stacked from his original alignment. So, but great job right here on Jason. Great job. You can see right here, violent vertical. Great job with the first step. Violent vertical, great attacking the guy, leverage, and he's taking the weapon away. As we'll progress to that also, take the weapon away. What I mean by that is his arms, his hands is his weapon. You want to try to take that away before he can make contact with you. You can see Jason right here. Great. Take the weapon away, and you can see he is not looking for the ball until he get past the defender and run. Gives himself an opportunity. So great job with Jason right here. Getting the defender stacked. Again, still late hands. You can see actually right here, the DB hand is already out. Jason give late hands, so we're good right here.